Good day, people of the internet. My name is IrishDog, and this is GW2 Basics. And for today, we're going to be talking about World vs. World, also referred to as WvW or WvW. So, to get to World vs. World, you can either head here to Lion's Arch over here in Fort Mariner, right here in this ring of portals. All these Azura gates lead to the mists. That one away over here leads to PvP. You will have seen me do it in the structured PvP episode. But these other 5 lead to World vs. World. There's the Edge of the Mists, the Borderlands, and then the Eternal Battlegrounds. So another way is to go into your menu, which at the very top, where all your little icons are, there is a little castle. And this brings up the World vs. World menu, or you just press B by default. One thing to be aware of is the better your server does in World vs. World, the more benefits you gain from it. If you hover over the little icon, you can see what benefits you get from it, whether it's crafting bonuses, experience gain, gold, increased gold from kills. There's a bunch of different things, and the better you do, the more those bonuses will show. So in the menu, it shows you the 3 servers facing off, how many points each of them have, and then it shows you a little pie chart to show you the points. Now there's the Mist Wars and the Edge of the Mists. The Edge of the Mist is the practice area that is much more recent than the Mist Wars, as in this has some Edge of the Mists that will do some experimenting with some ideas for World vs. World. Then they'll actually go into the Mist Wars, where all of these Borderlands and Eternal Battlegrounds will actually happen. There is going to be a new map coming into World vs. World with the new expansion. I will go over that map when the expansion launches, just because at that point it'll be finalized and it'll be out to the public. Okay, you can see which server you're a part of by this little home symbol. And as you can see, there's 3 colors. You have green, red, and blue. Every week you will switch off, and each server you face is someone in ranking that is next to you. So the lowest ranking person is not going to be facing the highest ranking person, or else they would be completely destroyed. Also in this menu, we have the detailed score. So you have overall what each server holds in general, the bonuses you get, which are down here, how many more points you need till you get your next bonus, and then you can go by each section what the capture is. So here in the Eternal Battlegrounds, you can see what we hold. Then the Borderlands, you can also see what each server holds. And the icons here are, this is a camp, there's a tower, a keep, and then there's the castle, but it's a bigger version of a keep with more walls you have to get through and worth a lot more points. Here is the rank abilities. Every time you complete some kind of objective in World vs. World, you gain experience. Whether it's killing someone, capturing something, even building siege equipment using supply, which I'll be going over in a little bit. This will get you points, which can then be put into these masteries to make you better at defense, better using arrow carts, and as you progress siege masteries, you'll get more and more abilities. Like in the arrow carts, you start out with increasing the range, and then the damage, and then it goes all the way up to you get a special skill. A bunch of these things have different abilities, and don't worry too much about wasting credits here. As you can see by some of these, they require a lot of rank points. And if you're wondering how many there are in total, the max level is 9,945 by what it looks like on the wiki. So you can do plenty of tasks here, and this rank is account bound. So my Mesmer can have one of these setups, and then my Ranger could have a different setup. So whatever points you get put into here, they will be bound to this character. Every time you do level up, you will receive rewards of gold, badges of honor, which is one of the currencies actually spent in the World vs. World, and this can actually get you some good high-level gear if you want to max out one of your characters. Then you also get a bonus chest every time you level up that gives you some items. So let's head on over to the Eternal Battlegrounds. Just like the PvP portal, you have to go up and travel. And you can travel to the mists through the menu wherever you are in Tyria, just like with the structured player versus player menu. So now you're out here in the mists. If you want to go back, you can head back through the Lion's Arch portal, which is going to be in every single map, or you can open up your World vs. World menu again, and then in the far right corner, there is Leave the Mists. You can press this, and then it'll take you back to where you last were. Also, if you log off in World vs. World, it will just bring you back to where you last were. This is World vs. World. We have the Eternal Battlegrounds, the Borderlands, and the Edge of the Mists. These are the Timberline Borderlands, as the devs and people refer to them as. They're similarly set up to how the Eternal Battleground is, but the Eternal Battleground is vying for this big castle in the middle that has 2 sets of walls. So let's just take a look over here at what we have. So each of these objectives, the camps, the towers, and the keeps, can be upgraded by going to them and accessing vendors who will allow you to upgrade. As you will see, there are icons around the map for map completion, but it no longer gives you a reward, I think. It's just going to be a little bit of experience as you go around. There's also these things around here called sentries, which is a guard at a little flag, little outpost, and then it just is a little buffer zone. You can see around here that there are these commander tags. Commander tags shows you who the commander is. You can buy this for about 300 gold and 250 badges of honor. They command people in World vs. World and Player vs. Environment. So usually in World vs. World, if you want to see some action, follow the commander tags. There's these little caravans running around. They provide supply to these objectives. So they start at a camp, and then they will go to a tower, and then a keep. If you kill an enemy caravan, it will die, and then one will spawn back at a camp, and then it will go along its route once again. Every time a caravan visits a place, it will give 35 supply to a tower, and 70 supply to a keep. The camps, towers, and keeps can stockpile supply, but to upgrade them, to give them like better walls or gates, or to actually make siege equipment, you need supply. A feature that is here in the Eternal Battlegrounds, but not in the Borderlands, is this Mercenary Camp. These are camps of various minor races that, if you can take the camp through the little objectives you need to do, those minor races will start patrolling the area, making sure that no roaming parties can get through. You can see how much supply you have by up here in the corner. You can only carry 10 at a time, but if you're at an objective, at a keep or a tower that has an upgrade that allows you to carry more supply, you can pick up the supply and then you can go around and you'll still have that much supply. You can also upgrade that much supply in your actual level upgrades. You can increase the capacity of supply you carry. Siege weapons can be acquired from the trading post. You can get the blueprints. You can also get it from vendors. Yep, here we go. Vendors, as well as certain rewards will give it to you. So you can build rams, arrow carts, ballistas, catapults, trebuchets, and siege golems. You can pay for them through silver or from in badges. You can also get some traps to put down. The way blueprints work is I'll actually just buy one just to show you. The way blueprints work is you double click them, you suddenly have it, it's been consumed in your inventory. You can press the first key to deploy it, and then people can start building it with supply. Or you press your 2 skill to stash it back into your inventory. Now you can sell these on the trading post if you don't want to bother with siege. And usually commanders are in charge of telling you when to put siege on, but I'm not going to get into specifics of how World vs. World operates in that regard. I'm just going to be giving you the basics, like what the series is about. Some roles in World vs. World is roamers, havocs, and zergs. So a roamer is a one person running around causing chaos or a couple people. Their objectives are to flip sentries, camps, harass Zergs. They are usually very fast at moving and very good at taking out objectives fast. Havoc squads are a little bigger than roamers, but they do a little more things. They do the same thing as roamers, but they're going to be like 5 to 10 people. Something like that. They're not that common. The last one is Zergs. Zergs are what follow these commander tags. It can be actually any number of people. It could be from 20 people to 50 people running around. World vs. World does reset every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time, which is 1 o'clock UTC time on Saturday. That's when everything gets set to 0. Everyone lines up at the portals to get in here and try and take as many objectives as possible. There are none in any of these Borderlands or the Eternal Battlegrounds. There are special objectives, like in the Edge of the Mist, there are objectives that give you special abilities or provide special bonuses. When you're coming here to World vs. World, you are scaled to 80. So people who are very low level, you can come here to World vs. World and do stuff, but you're going to be severely handicapped because you're being scaled and your armor is not going to be that good. I'm going to show you quick. There are Ambien Creatures around. Well, they're not really ambient, it's just creatures that can be an annoyance if you're running through certain areas. And do be aware, when you kill something, it's going to drop a bag of loot wherever you killed it. So, I'll show you again. Hopefully I get more range on this guy. After killing a creature at range, or even players or mobs, it will drop a bag of loot at your feet. So if you're killing people across, well, not across, but if you're operating some siege and then you're killing a bunch of people, you can end up with bags of loot all around you. And there will be various items, like I got some trash items and salvageable items. I should show you that. So I'm going to go show you how you actually get into these keeps and castles and whatnot. They all have walls and gates, but the gates always remain closed. So the way your allies get into these forts, so I am on the red team, so I can get into this fort by running through these little red boxes that allow me to go in and out of the fort with ease. This is one of the supply depots. This will be where supply is stored, and you can look in the objective tab over here where like achievements and events are, and it will say how much supply this fort has. As you see, as people take supply, this gets lower and lower. What I've just gone over is the very basics of World vs. World. So if you want more detailed instructions on World vs. World of just like how you should be running around, what kind of builds to use, or others are helpful suggestions, there are a lot of people on the internet who can help. One place that I actually found recently that has really good advice for people is a podcast called The Guild Wars Shoot Reporter. No, The Guild Wars Reporter. Is it The Guild Wars? I'm messing up their name now. So there's a podcast called The Guild Wars Reporter, and they've recently started a segment called Surviving the Mists. That is about getting into player versus player. That would be structured player versus player and world versus world. They go over many different concepts for the game modes. And if you want to get more into these, definitely give them a look. They give helpful suggestions, so I'll have a link in the description to where to find the podcast and timestamps saying when Surviving the Mist start. So that's it for this episode of GW2 Basics. Join me next time when we talk about leveling and game progression. Until then, hit like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on the Twitters, and have a day.